say, hey guys, it's Klaus. You wanna take a bath? Klaus, just kidding. But if you do want to take a bath, look, it's the bathtub. It's the, what is it called? The S35CA? The bathtub. You don't see these running around very much. Probably because they look so stupid. But we're going to watch the Hyper Squirrel. What a name! The Hyper Squirrel. Klaus loves that name. Almost showed this replay just so you could see the name, Hyper Squirrel. Like, if you got a guy named Hyper Squirrel on your team, you know it's going to be a good game. It's just, you know, like, there you go. Il est touché, which means, you want to take a bath with me? In French, or something like that. Anyway, come on, let's get serious here. The Hyper Squirrel, he's got one kill already in the bathtub. And this thing, you know, it's pretty slow. It doesn't really have that much armor, but it has a freaking amazing gun. And if you can get this gun working in the game, you're going to have a good game. Now look at this mini-map. The whole team is either sitting at the base or going south. Now going south is okay, but when the whole team goes south, but they just kind of stop, that looks like they're moving now. Okay, they're moving. Klaus takes it back. They're not a bunch of stupid, pathetic, useless cretins. They are actually moving. So they're pushing the south. Good for them. And the Skoda and the KV-1 and those guys at the base are just sitting at the base. So poor little squirrely man here. What is his name? Psycho Squirrel? Rubber Squirrel? What the hell? Just a minute. Klaus has to pause the video here. Forgot his name. Okay, Hyper Squirrel. Sorry, Hyper Squirrel. Sometimes Klaus does these videos, you know, and checks the name of the tank and then just starts the commentary. It's all ad-lib. It's all just spews up without any practice. And Klaus gets going, starts talking about bathtubs and cretins and morons and super stupids, and then can't remember what the guy's name is or what freaking tank he's in. So I apologize. I'm not making fun of you. Look at this. Continue à tirer, which means pass the soap. We're gonna take a bath. Look at this. Look at this guy. Cible de treat. Bend over, buddy. The bathtub's here. Oh, wait a minute. That would happen in the shower, so... you know, Klaus is going to stop with the weird twisted analogies or whatever you call them. Let's just watch this shot. Look at... Oh, he's tracked. Oh, poor guy. Only 276 damage. You want to take a bath? Hey, let's take a bath. Vehicle in the air de combat. Touché, mange la merde. Wouldn't it be fun if the commander of the bathtub would shoot a guy like this? If he would just say, instead of il est touché, il est plaqué, you just like this, watch. What the hell, did he miss? Klaus missed that. Did he miss? Klaus missed it. Did he miss it? Okay, what if the commander did something more like this? Mange la merde! Ready? Boom! Mange la merde! Il est touché! Up yours! I'm in the freaking bathtub here! Yeah. So, it looks like an easy win. It's 8-5, and Hyper Squirrel has just taken over this north side. His team has pushed south. They've won the south. They actually did a pretty good job, you know? This is tier 5, and Klaus is impressed. On this map, let's get serious for a second here, guys. We'll teach you a little bit of strategy. When you push the city on this map, you can win the city like the enemies have, but then what the fuck do you do? You're kind of... winning the city is almost meaningless, because once you win the city, okay, you won the city. Whoop-de-doo. Then you have to drive across all the open area to get to the base. So winning the city is not that important. Winning the tracks, the south, is more important. But the enemy team has actually played it pretty well. They won the city, And then instead of driving blindly to the base through the open, let's just watch Hyper Squirrel here shoot this KV-1. Want to take a bath? Well, the enemies, after winning the city, realized, well, let's not just blindly drive to their base and get shot by all the campers. They actually went back to defend their base. So Hyper Squirrel's team that won the south and then got to the enemy base, they just drove into the open. And they got shot by all the guys that were in the city that came back to defend. So Claus is actually going to admit that this has been a pretty good strategy game at Tier 5, which is just amazing. It is amazing and refreshing. Refreshing, just like taking a bath in the bathtub. You understand the theme, the bathtub theme is snaking its way through this video commentary. That's what, you know, the effect Claus is going for. Anyway, hey, you want to take a bath? Can't stop doing that. Okay, it's 10-9. So no, seriously, about the strategy on this map. Let's do this because this game is going to take a while here. Whether you spawn from the south or the north, once you win the city, there's a lot of open ground to cross. So the best strategy on this map is to push the south aggressively. And once you win the south, instead of just driving blindly into the base, then you stay in the low ground almost through the swamp to flank the enemy and clean up. Once you win the south side, or if you spawn in the south and you take the tracks, don't just drive blindly to the base through the open. Get in the low ground in the swampy area and go wherever you need to go to flank the enemy. So there you go. There's the strategy. Not bad for Tier 5s though. The teams did pretty good. And now here's Hyper Squirrel. He's trying to get here to help. Now the only one of the weaknesses of this bathtub is it's freaking slow. And by the time he's got here, just about everyone is dead, including his teammate. So, okay, he's come to help, he's arrived, and everyone's dead. But it's 13-12, and unfortunately for him, what's left on his team is 2 SPGs, and what's left on the enemy team is 2 big heavy tanks. But the bathtub does not care if they are heavy tanks, or light tanks, or SPGs, because the bathtub has the big French gun that when you shoot someone says, Mange Merde! So let's wait and see what he does. So his artillery, they're probably doing the right thing. They need to just wait and hope that he lights an enemy up and that they can take a shot. The other strategy for the artillery is to move somewhere on the map that they know is cleared, like the city, and set up, you know, somewhere safer, because the heavies are probably on their way towards them, right? So sitting still is not great. They may not realize that the P in SPG stands for propelled. They're just gonna sit still and hope Hyper Squirrel spots someone. But now a good player now in the heavy tanks, or any tank, if you had a fast tank, could use the swampy area in the low ground to drive around undetected now. So let's see if at Tier 5 there are actually some players that do that. So now this Hyper Squirrel is taking a risk here. He's driving in the open. Now one of his artillery has decided to move. He's moving it to the low ground to try and spot maybe, or to try and move around the map. And the Hyper Squirrel's just waiting. So this is all about strategy now. The team with the best strategy is going to win. And now Hyper Squirrel is taking a big risk. If those heavy tanks are camping down behind the base, he's in the open now. So, but he's stopping at each bush, which is smart. He's stopping and he's letting his binocs and camonet engage. See that? He's let the binocs and camonet. Oh, and look, the KV-1, there's one enemy is spotted. You see where he is? His artillery has spotted him. Now let's see if the artilleries can take shots on him. Hyper Squirrel is trying to move closer to get a shot. You see that KV-1? The KV-1 is probably going to go kill his artillery unless the artillery can handle it. Oh, and the artillery is dead. So the KV-1 moved in low ground, undetected. You see that? And now, what's Hyper Squirrel doing? You see the enemy over there? He's probably worried about the other KV, so he's letting his binocs and camo net engage again. He can move just a little bit closer. You see his yellow maximum detection range, render range circle. If he moved closer, he could... Oh, never mind moving closer. That's what he was afraid of. The other KV, oh no, that's the VK. He just drove right by and did not spot him because he was still not sure if his camo net was engaged, but he's perfectly still. He did not get spotted. Claus is not sure if he had sixth sense or not, but he was perfectly still, so he probably was not spotted. If he did not have sixth sense, he probably would have tried to run away immediately, so he knew he was not spotted. That's Klaus's guess. So now he's going to move into position here. Now the heavy tanks are doing the right thing. They're trying to move in. And you see that? They killed the artillery without being spotted because they are in the low ground and you can poke up from the swampy area, and there's bushes around the edges of the swamp. You can be in the low ground and you can poke up and use the bushes and spot the enemies that are on the high ground. The high ground is basically the whole, all of the map on the edges. The low ground is that swampy area. You can drive around the low ground, poke up using bushes, and spot people and shoot them. In the end game anyway, at the beginning, it's very risky because there's just too many tanks. He'll get spotted. But at the end game, the low ground is very important. And let's see if Hyper Squirrel, he probably has to get back now. You saw the KV was headed for the base. The VK was headed that way. So Hyper Squirrel, they're going to be at your base pretty quick here. But he's playing very cautiously. And there he is. Okay, there he is. He's in the low ground. He thinks he's safe. Hyper Squirrel is not spotted. And boom! Il est touché. And here we go again. Up the ass, because it's a Klaus video. Here we go. Up the ass for you, baby. Oh, yeah. Oh, one more shot. Get ready. This is what the French commander should say when you shoot the gun. Ready? This is how it should go. You should make an app for this. Mange la merde. Le véhicule est cri. And the KV is in the cap. All right. So he's got him. All right, KV in the cap. You want to take a bath? The KV in the cap has 6 kills. Hats off to you, buddy. Great playing. Now, Hyper Squirrel, let's see if he approaches this the correct way. It's best if you approach in the low ground. And he is relatively low here. There's a hill between him and the cap, but he does not have a lot of time. So maybe he does not have time to approach in the low ground. He's probably going to use this bush. There is a bush on this. Yeah, he is in the low ground. He's using this hill as cover. Now he's going to poke up and use this bush and let his binoc engage. Yeah, he's already spotted the KV. The KV has no view range. And boom! Continue à tirer. Poor KV. You played a great game. You've got 6 kills. But you want to take a bath? Mange la merde! And let's see Hyper Squirrel finish off this game in style. This is how you use the bathtub. You just move up, you spot the enemy, and mange la merde! So let's count the medals. Defender, high caliber, tank, sniper, and Top Gun. Ace tanker as well. Look at all that. 7 kills, over 3,400 damage. And hats off to the KV-1 enemy. Bart, you just got out-detected at the end there, buddy. So thanks very much, Hyper Squirrel, for sending that great replay in this bathtub. Look at the 2 stripes on his barrel. And thanks everyone for watching. And that's been a pretty long video, so Klaus will just check out now and say, you wanna take a bath? You knew Klaus was gonna say that, didn't you? Well, if you don't like it, you can just go screw yourself!